So I'm in Fairbanks riding around the back roads with Greg and hanging out with his wife and playing fetch with their dog. James is busy flying into Anchorage from Texas, buying a bike and riding it up the Denali Highway to meet me. By the time he gets here, I'm all well rested and kicking to go, ready for an adventure. He's completely exhausted and his bike needs a ton of work done. So the next day I tried to be patient while we fixed it up. His rear tire was totally bald, so we had to go get new ones put on. But we did do a little ride through the wildflowers and try to enjoy ourselves some, and finally got the bikes packed up and ready to go at about 7 p.m. We rode up to Live and Good. We thought we might camp there, but it was just a bumpy, muddy dirt road and a ghost town. So we kept going up the highway. Finally, we were just so tired, we just decided to sleep on the side of the road. We set up our tents, had a good night's sleep, and a very rude awakening in the morning. We had to follow a pilot car out through the construction zone, but then after that it was really easy riding, smooth, clean, easy dirt, a little bit of gravel here and there, but nothing too bad. We got gas at Yukon River Camp, and just north of there, the water trucks had wet down the road and it was a little bit muddy, just enough to be exciting, make it feel like a bit of an adventure. Before we knew it, we were at the Arctic Circle. We stopped to take a photo op, talk with some other bikers, and then ran up to Coldfoot to have burgers and beer. Up there we decided we still had another 100 miles left in us, so we pushed onward up through the winding Adigan Pass down the other side to camp at Galbraith Lake. So we settled in at camp and realized we'd totally run out of water, but luckily we had filtration bags, so I rode my steed down to the lake to fill them up. There was sort of a rocky trail for a bit of the ways, and then it just became larger and larger rocks. So I kind of bumped along up next to the river and filled the bag up. And when I turned around to go back, it wasn't clear anymore where the road was. I couldn't see it at all, and it took a bunch of tries to get back on the right path, and I kept falling over on the rocks. But eventually I returned with water for us so we could make soup and warm ourselves up. So as we're settling in to camp for the night, I'm thinking about a conversation I had earlier back at Coldfoot with a couple Beamer guys. We were talking about how great the road conditions had been up to that point, and saying that it didn't take a very large stretch of the imagination to visualize it much, much worse. And I had laughed and joked and said, yeah, just add water. And then as we're settling into camp for the night, we hear the first raindrops start to hit down on our tent.